Well, I know where Chris Sims will lean, the former Texas Longhorn, Pro Football Talk Live co-host, contributor to Football Night in America. The Longhorns open up with the Ohio State. We're going to get a really good idea about Arch Manning, I guess, that first week there. Your thoughts on that matchup. And I love that we're starting out with something that has, some weight to it, that means something to it. But
I'm with you.
On the road at Ohio State to open up your season.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome, especially where I think a lot of people thought maybe last year that semifinal matchup was the national championship game. I'm not trying to disrespect Notre Dame or anything like that. They had a phenomenal year. I mean, yeah, on the road, week one. And the other aspect I like about it, you're going to have 1 versus 2 heavyweights. And like the old days, Dan, it was like, oh, man, whoever loses, their season's over. Yeah. They can't win the national championship. That's changed. So that, to me, makes college football a whole lot better. But how can you not be excited about the Longhorns, right? I mean, from all my understanding, the world was crazy last year, and they were losing their mind that Ohio State was spending $20 million on their football team. What's Texas close to this year? Almost $40 million, right? Yeah, they do everything big down in Texas, that's for sure. And they're pumped about Arch Manning. I know that from talking to people firsthand down there. I think one of the reasons they kind of maybe pushed Quinn Ewers out the door was because of the potential, the talent of Arch Manning, and where he can bring the team and the whole program as itself. Because even the Longhorns are as famous and as awesome as they are. You have a quarterback like Arch Manning. He's in the Heisman conversation. You're the number 1 team in the country. Man, you might not have to pay all these guys as much to even come there after that, because everybody's going to want to jump on the bandwagon.
Okay. Arch Manning, a Heisman Trophy candidate, one of the top ones. Probably if he was coming out after this year, the projections would be he would be a high pick, right?
Right.
Okay. Is it because how much of this is Arch Manning as opposed to Arch Johnson?
Well, I hear what you're saying. Well, yeah, I mean, the Manning name helps that a little bit. It makes everybody feel warm and cozy. You go, wait, this is in his DNA. He knows what to expect as far as football and what it's in, what it takes to be good at that on a day-to-day basis. It's the family business. So, yeah, does that add a little bit more of comfort level to evaluators and stuff like that? Sure. Does the names in his family also maybe boost him up to people just to go, well, they were good, I think he'll be good too? Sure. But I don't think you get to this point with Arch Manning, and I experienced this too as Chris Sims. Oh, you're only here because you're Phil Sims' son. Oh, yeah? I mean, do you know anybody else my age that could throw the football like me? No, you don't. That's why I'm here. Okay, right. So there, at some point, it has to become like the rubber hits the road. And, whoa, Arch Manning maybe runs 4.5. Oh, wow, he's got a pretty quick release. Oh, he's got a strong arm and can really spin the ball. So I think there's enough proof in the pudding there to justify where he's at.
Okay, got a little defensive there, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying, and I'm not defensive at all. I just, when I get into that mode, I start, getting into my fake Phil Sims voice and start doing that a little bit.
We were talking about backup quarterbacks. The Browns have added Tyler Huntley there. You got 4 quarterbacks, which means you don't have 1 quarterback. And in today's NFL, what's the likelihood that you can carry 4 quarterbacks on the roster?
Very unlikely. I mean, it's rare that they keep 3.
Yeah.
That's where this whole thing is odd. And maybe they will keep 4. I don't know. And again, the word I've kind of used with the Browns and all of that is just to, and I say this even with the Dallas Cowboys with their bad contracts, team building. Right? The value of the quarterback. He's an asset. Oh, yeah, that's great. Oh, teams need quarterbacks. They're at a premium, all that. Oh, our analytics say to take them here. But what about the human aspect of the Shedeur Sanders conversation is going to overtake your franchise? And every day I get a statistical update on Instagram or whatever else telling me how they all did, all because of Shedeur Sanders. So it's just a weird situation altogether. I feel bad for him and the situations he's in. But the Browns are in a weird spot. I would have gone into last week, Dan, going, I don't know what they're going to do. I was thinking okay, Kenny Pickett, they're going to keep him because, hey, he's still young. He did have some good moments in Pittsburgh. There's still maybe some untapped potential. You see what you got there. You keep Shador, you keep Dylan Gabriel, because you're not going to be able to put them on the practice squad. I don't think they'll clear waivers in a 24-hour period. Some team will snag them and take them. So you're going to have to keep them on the roster. I was kind of in the boat of, I think Joe Flacco will be the odd man out if things stayed status quo. You know what he is. He's older. He's not exactly Mr. Take Care of the football all the time. And that's where I thought. But now we got the Kenny Pickett hamstring injury. Now we got a Dylan Gabriel hamstring injury. Shador Sanders was dealing with a little arm issue this past weekend. And now I don't know what to think the hell is going to happen there. And, yeah, they might be forced to keep Joe Flacco and figure out some other creative ways to keep all four of these guys, Dan.
How often do teams tank in the NFL?
Not very often, right? The problem is the front office might tell the coaches or whatever else, hey, play these guys, do all this. We want to keep this guy out because we don't want to pay him guaranteed money if he gets hurt after the year and all that. So the front office and ownership might try to set it up to, hey, I hope we don't win the game. But damn, it's hard to make the coaches and players buy into that. I mean, put yourself in some guy's shoe. Oh, I'm a second stringer. They're trying to tank the game. I don't care. This is the first time all year I get to get out here, put film for my future job, another team, blah, blah, blah. I'm going all out. And more times than not, the teams that do that, the coaches are like, wait, it looks like they might fire me this year. The hell with them. I'm going to coach great this week, a la Gerard Mayo, week 18 last year, screwing over the New England Patriots, right? So, that's where it's hard to just full out tank, maybe to the same extent some of the other sports can pull it off. It's a little different in the NFL.
Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk Live co-host. You'll see him on Football Night in America. His podcast is called Unbuttoned, former NFL college quarterback. The Rams situation I find really intriguing because it feels like their season, which could be a Super Bowl season, is hinging on Matthew Stafford right now. You do have Jimmy Garoppolo, but this is a team that went toe-to-toe with the Eagles in Philadelphia last year, and I don't see why they shouldn't be considered one of the favorites for the NFC again this year. But like a back injury that's day-to-day, or now it's been week-to-week here.
Right.
What are we looking at with Matthew Stafford and the Rams? Yeah,
it's a little concerning, but I'm not overly concerned yet. Hey, good thing is they do have a Jimmy Garoppolo, and I do think he could get you through 2, 3, 4 games, but let's not get it messed up. Jimmy Garoppolo ain't Matthew Stafford. Stafford is special. And, he makes them a Super Bowl team with all the things they got around him. I'm with you in that conversation, Dan. I mean, they are a Super Bowl team. They had the Eagles on the ropes like you talked about. I mean, I was sitting there on the field watching it happen. They got everything you need, coaches, young talent, playmakers, quarterback, all of it. I won't be concerned. Well, we heard McVay yesterday say, I think, he's maybe about 10 days away. To me, that's encouraging. That means that they're feeling like it's going in the right direction to where he could practice. But if we get to August 20th, August 23rd, and we're still dealing with this, I'd be a little like, oh, man, I don't know. That's a little worrisome. Hey, the lower back is a pain in the butt for a thrower of the football. Tony Romo, damn, he had to retire because of it. Troy Aikman had to retire because of it. My dad had issues. It happens because of that torquing you do as a quarterback all the time, over and over and over. And sometimes your feet are in awkward spots and you still torque. And that's where they got to be careful in that. They just got to make sure it goes away. Because it's one of those things when your lower back, if you go, oh, I'm about 95%, I think I can go out there today and do it. The first time he throws a few lasers, he's going to, I'm back to 65%. And this is one you got to make sure you do your due diligence, make sure it's wiped away so then he can get after it. But we know, man, this is one of the damn toughest quarterbacks we've seen. I expect him to be out there week 1 ready to go.
More threatening, Rams or Chargers?
Ooh, I would say I will go with the Rams.
Okay.
The Chargers are threatening, no question. And I got to see them in person, and there's a real vibe in that team and belief. But that AFC West, we know how good it is. I think it's arguably the greatest coaches in one division in the history of football, if not definitely the greatest coaches in one division. We know Mahomes is there. I do think the damn Broncos are real, right? We heard Sean Payton say that the other day. I think the Broncos are a team that, like, okay, people are talking about playoffs, but I think ours kind of a sneaky Super Bowl contender. One of the best defenses in football, only got better with the 2 49ers they signed in free agency. Bo Nix, second year. Evan Ingram at tight end. I'd say, ooh, that's going to be a nice addition for Sean Payton. And this R.J. Harvey they got in the second round out of Central Florida, I think has a chance to be a real special player. So I put Denver maybe a notch up above the Chargers as far as that team that could surprise people and disrupt some of the matchups we'd like to see in the AFC playoffs.
When does it become a concern to you as a former player, now analyst, with what's happening with Micah Parsons? At what point, in this month, would you then, start to have some real concerns?
I already have concerns. Like I made the comment yesterday with Florio on Pro Football Talk, circus doesn't translate to Super Bowl, right? The football gods, they can't look upon this and go, oh, this is the way you handle a football team. The way they do contracts is ridiculous. It costs them with having to pay. They could have got Micah Parsons for $35 million last year. Now they're going to have to pay more than 41. They should, 43, 44. And those are 2 or 3 players on your football team when you add that up to Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and how they drag their feet on all of that. But let alone, the owner taking kind of cheap shots to a degree. Micah Parsons, his back's out there. This is contracts. Oh, he missed 6 games last year when he really missed 4, right? They put out things like, oh, gosh, he's a little bit of a pain in the butt in the building. Like, really?
He
the
could
Dallas
get
Cowboys?
hit by a car when he said that. I mean,
exactly. There's just been too many weird messaging. Micah Parsons has handled it like a true pro. Been there, been trying to be selfless, trying to be a good leader. And then also the other part of it that I can't stand, Dan, is Jerry Jones. I don't want the agent there. No crap, you don't want the agent there, Jerry. This is your wheelhouse, doing business deals. I mean, that's like making, hey, Jerry, get some shoulder pads and a helmet and do a tackling drill against Micah Parsons. That's it's like an equal conversation there. Not fair, right? Let alone against the bylaws of the NFL and the CBA. So it is a distraction. They can say what they want, and I'm getting to the point where I think Micah is going to maybe have to play hardball, and maybe he has to start having a press conference like Jerry does every few days and let everybody know what's really going on.
The Bengals situation kind of tapered off because of Micah Parsons and the Cowboys getting all the oxygen in the room.
Right.
This is a Bengal team that's all in on offense, but having an eyewitness who's watched the Bengals practice twice, and he said, defensively, they're in trouble.
I mean, they weren't a good defense last year. There's not really a whole lot of marquee household names on the defense to make you think, oh, wow, it's going to drastically turn around. Their biggest thing is they got Al Golden, the new defensive coordinator there, right? And hopefully he can be creative schematically to give them some advantages. And I'm not shocked, too, to hear that it's not going great for them at times, right? They are learning a new defense. And, damn, you got to go against Joe Burrow, Chase, and Higgins every day? We like we saw last year, that I don't care what defense you are. It's hard to stop that crew right there. But, man, it does seem like there's going to be a lot of pressure on that offense. The Trey Hendrickson thing, not only do they need him as a leader and he's the best player on their defense, to me it's twofold in the fact that the kid they drafted in the first round, Shamar Stewart, he's got superstar potential, but he's raw. He's simple. He doesn't do any pass rushes moves. He just is like, I just go that way, and that's all I do. So you're hurting his development by not having Trey Hendrickson there as well. So, hopefully they can get that ironed out because, man, when you watch Joe Burrow and company, and they're good, and the AFC against, of course, Mahomes and Lamar and Josh Allen, man, that just doesn't get any better than that.
Do we give Joe Burrow a hall pass because he beat Mahomes in Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl? But after that, I mean, you're looking at not getting to the playoffs a few years,
right?
Even a performance in the play. I don't know.
He had them on the ropes, right, the next year in the AFC Championship game, and they got the late hit out of bounds on Mahomes, right, where you're just kind of like, oh, man, it feels like Cincinnati's about to pull this off. Yeah. So that happens. Injury has been an issue. I think the fact that the Bengals do things dysfunctionally does like maybe give him a somewhat of a free pass to your point there. But, all in all, 2 years ago, they were hot late in the year, and he hurt his wrist. Injury has been his biggest kryptonite. Last year, I don't know what else you can do, right? I mean, damn, it's 30 points every game. He's just going up and down the field, throwing for 280 yards every game, 3 touchdowns. He carried the team as much as you've seen anybody carry the team. So, no, I don't think we give him a free pass. I don't. Hey, we got Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are all-time greats, in my opinion. They haven't even gotten to the Super Bowl yet. They haven't even been able to beat that guy Mahomes one time yet in these damn playoff games or anything like that. So, hey, that's to me, one of the cool storylines of the year is, can Lamar and Josh Allen, as talented and as awesome a quarterbacks as I've ever seen in my life, have yet to be to a Super Bowl? Could this be the year? I don't know. But, yeah, it's pretty unreal with the quarterbacks in the AFC, and I think Joe Burrow is truly phenomenal.
Okay. Give me the team that you like, sneaky team that you like.
Okay. All right. Sneaky team. All right. So here's one that I don't think a team gets put enough in the Super Bowl window. I think the Houston Texans are going to be one of those teams this year. That I'll just say that. I know they're not sneaking up on anybody as far as playoffs.
Well, they jumped off the bandwagon last year.
Right. I think a lot of that had to do with the offensive coordinator and some of the issues there. The defense is awesome. That's not even, disputable. Nico Collins was hurt a bunch last year. They lost Stephon Diggs. Their pass protection was pitiful. I think they'll be better at receiver, and I think you'll see C.J. Stroud have more of a hand in the pass protection this year. So I would put them in that Super Bowl window, or they're a little underrated in my opinion. I think the New England Patriots are, of course, the other team I'd look at to go, watch out. It just seems like between that coaching staff, they're one of the teams that won the offseason, where I'd go, if we are sitting here late December going, man, New England, if they win this week, they could go to the playoffs. I would not be shocked by that at all. Wow. That's one. And one more I'll throw to you. The Jets have the talent to surprise people.
Look at you.
People are overlooking it.
Okay.
Yeah, but they got some talent. I mean, they do. And I believe in Aaron Glenn. And I don't think they're going to make it all about the quarterback. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play defense. They'll be a pain in the butt. But I think my leader there would probably be New England, and one of those teams that you're talking about as far as that just really jumps out and surprises us.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I like you fired up. I gotta get you defensive to start out. And
when am I not fired up? I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. Because your dad, a little nepotism, and then
yeah. Hey, tell those jerks you got on the show with you I said hi, all right?
Whoa.
Tell them all I said hi, why I'm fired up, all right?
Hey, jerks. Chris Sims says hello. Thank you, Chris.
All right, Dan. Always good being on. Thanks, guys.
Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk Live co-host. You'll find him with Mike Florio, the show that precedes ours.